Well, as you all know, guys, the 1980s was my best time for movies. I absolutely adore movies from the 1980s. And this is going to be another little video series just showcasing that. The 1980s, a time of wacky clothes, questionable haircuts, and fucking awesome movies. Let's go. Hi guys, Jason back here again with another little series where from 1980 to 1989, I'm going to do a series of videos showcasing 5 movies from that year. Now, these movies are not going to be in any order. They're not going to be number 1 to 5 or vice versa. They're just going to be 5 movies from that year that I've seen and I can talk about and just get my thoughts on them. And it's just going to be my little tribute to the 1980s. As I wish I grew up in the 1980s, I would have fit in so well. Superman 2 is a sequel, obviously, to the original Superman from 1978. Probably my favourite of the series, apart from the original. Interesting story behind this one. They brought in Richard Donner, obviously, who had directed the original. But halfway through production, Warner Brothers and the Salkinds, who were sort of the producers and they were funding the movie, they didn't like where Richard Donner was taking it, so obviously they got rid of him and they brought in this guy called Richard Lester. We'll get to him maybe in the future. So yeah, Richard Lester came in and he basically reshot a lot of the stuff that Donner did and brought in his own stuff, and he's responsible for bringing in some of the more humorous parts of Superman 2, although there's not many, to be honest. Obviously, you have the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, which I highly recommend that anyone check out. It's a completely different movie, in my opinion. So yeah, Superman 2, it's really dark. It's probably the darkest Superman movie I think there's been yet, even darker than Man of Steel. Batman vs Superman, it could maybe prove to be even darker, but we'll just see. No, Luke. I don't do spoilers. Sorry. The Empire Strikes Back, the second installment of the Star Wars franchise. Technically that's the 5th installment, but it was the second made, and it's really fucking complicated. In my opinion, probably the best Star Wars movie, yet even better than Star Wars the original. I don't call it A New Hope because I'm one of the classic fans, and possibly better than Jedi. I love Return of the Jedi, but Empire Strikes Back is just so much better. Yeah, from the original, they just really stepped it up, and it's more intense. There's a lot more at stake. You find a lot more out about Luke and about the Skywalkers, about his father Anakin. You find a lot more about Han Solo and Princess Leia and everything. And it's a far more grander movie, and it was a really, really worthwhile sequel. And as I said, I think it's the best of the franchise so far. Roll on December until we see episode 7. It's going to be so good to see Star Wars back in cinemas. Now, this next movie, I've only seen it once, and I don't think I'll ever watch it again because it's so... Oh my god, it's so sad. The Elephant Man is directed by David Lynch, who went on to direct such things as Eraserhead, which is a total mindfuck if you've ever seen that. Now, what's unique about this film is it's completely filmed in black and white. I mean, completely filmed. It's not like Schindler's List where there's a little bit of colour, but yeah, it's shot in black and white. The Elephant Man is basically the true life story of Joseph Merrick, and this movie is called John Merrick. And he was this man born back in Victorian era, the Victorian era of Britain, and he basically had this condition where his head was malformed and misshaped, and he had all these lesions and boils over his body. It was quite a sight, and unfortunately, because of the time he was in, he was renounced by society, and he was made to be a freak show, basically, for people to come and pay for it. He's played absolutely terrifically by a completely unrecognisable John Hurt, apart from the voice. That's the only indication that it is John Hurt. The makeup is so elaborate that he is completely unrecognisable. And of course you have the great Anthony Hopkins playing the Doctor, who has total sympathy and empathy for this man, and he takes him away and tries to get him a better life. Yeah, as I said, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely glad I watched the movie, but it's one of those movies you never want to watch again because it's so depressing. It really is, but it's a quality movie. Really, if you haven't watched it, it is really worth it. Here's JC. Quite possibly Stanley Kubrick's greatest movie. Yes, give me your 2001s, your Eyes Wide Shuts, your Full Metal Jackets. The Shining is, I think, above the rest of them. The story of The Shining is quite simply Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall are this couple who take on the role of caretakers for this gigantic hotel up in the Colorado mountains over the winter from September to April, I think. And this place is massive. The place where they got to set the hotel was just amazing to look at. And when they get to the hotel, it's quite clear there's something not human going on, if you know what I mean. And right from the start, you really get the sense that there's something not quite right about Jack Nicholson in that movie. It's quite simply Jack Nicholson's, I think it's his best performance. Even better than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I absolutely adore as well. But just the whole maniac aspect of his character, he really has it down to a T. Well, let's face it, Jack Nicholson plays a maniac in all his movies. So yeah, guys, definitely The Shining. If you want a scary movie, a classic movie, this is the movie for you. Okay, I'm gonna be straight. Could you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Aeroplane was directed by Jerry Zanuck, who went on to direct such things as the Naked Gun movies and also Ghost from 1990, one of my all-time favourites. And it stars Robert Hayes as this pilot with PTSD, who happens to be on this plane that just suddenly happens to be taken over by this mystery illness, and they need someone to fly the plane. It's all kinds of weird. As the story may as well not even be there. It's just there for the jokes. So yeah, you have Robert Hayes running about. You have Lloyd Bridges, who I think possibly steals the movie in the control tower. Who's just absolutely brilliant with his one-liners like, "Looks like I picked the wrong weed to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong weed to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong weed to quit sniffing glue." As well as him, you also get the first real prominent Hollywood role of the late great Leslie Nielsen as the Doctor. Leslie Nielsen, of course, he went on to play Lieutenant Frank Drebin in the Naked Gun series, which pretty much defined him for the rest of his life as a comic actor. And if Lloyd Bridges didn't steal the movie, Leslie Nielsen definitely did. It's quality, guys. Please check it out. It's on Netflix, for God's sake. Go and check it out. Please do. Well, guys, that was some of my favourites from 1980. I think I'm going to really enjoy this wee series. And as I said, it's just my own tribute to the 1980s and movies. They're movies that really define me. Even though, technically, I didn't grow up with them. When I was growing up, I did grow up with them, sort of thing, if that makes sense. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Comment anything and everything down below. I love to hear what you guys think. If you liked the video, please do. Tell me, what are your favourite movies from 1980? Any ones I've missed, because I'm sure there's a few I've missed and a few that I like that I've missed as well. So please comment that down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've been Jason Black, and you guys have been awesome. Take care.